Thank you for joining us. My name is Vincent Smith. I'm a sales engineer at Ipswitch. I'm going to take you through some of the major improvements in WhatsUp Gold 16.4. And now let's take a deeper dive into SSL Certificate Monitor with WhatsUp Gold 16.4. This monitor was available in previous versions as a custom script, but we made it an active monitor for ease of use. Here you can see we'll be able to create a new active monitor for the SSL Certificate Monitor. As you can see, we'll be able to build one out simply by checking the certificate via URL or a UNC path inside of WhatsUp Gold. You have the ability to use a proxy server as well. Let's take a look at this in action. I have built one out for the WhatsUp Gold site. As you can see, I'll be monitoring and checking the certificate for whatsupgold.com. And I'm going to set a large threshold, so I want to get notified if the certificate expires in 900 days. Now, what I'll do is test this out inside of the admin console inside of WhatsUp Gold. Let's look at that now. So here, I'll navigate to our active monitor library and simply test out this monitor. Now we can see that this monitor has failed because the certificate expires in 806 days. Now, just to show how this works, let's go ahead and edit this. We'll change this to 30 days. Now, simply testing this monitor, we can see that this is now a success. So using this SSL certificate monitor, you'll be able to ensure that none of these certificates expire in your environment. In 16.4, we added a file content monitor which scans specified files for a string pattern and can be used to scan log files for a known error string. Let's go ahead and take a look at an example. Here we can see an example of an application log. Now there's going to be a problem if there are any errors that occur, and it will be shown with the text string error inside of this log. I created an active monitor to look for that string inside of the log. Let's take a look. Here we can see that I'm using a UNC path to specify where that log file is. I'm looking at a given file, and I'm looking for an error string inside of the log. Now this monitor is going to be down if it finds that error inside of the log file at least once. Let's go ahead and test this out inside of the admin console. Now here in my active monitor library, I'm simply going to test this error log monitor. Now as we can see, it looks like this was successful, as it didn't find that error string inside of the log. Now to ensure that this works correctly, let's go ahead and edit this application log. I'll navigate anywhere inside of this log and simply add the string error. Let's save the log and try it again. Now, when I run this test, as you can see, it looks like this monitor has failed, and I would get alerted whenever error appears inside of this log. In 16.4, we made major improvements to the flow monitor. We're now able to filter based on the flow source. If I'm looking for a specific flow source, I can simply type that in and look for that device. Also, you'll be able to filter based alphabetically on the flow source or the outgoing traffic. We've also added more reports here under the Interface Details tab. Here, for the added reports, we have added the top endpoints as well as the top endpoint groups. Now we'll be able to filter based on these top endpoints and even the groups. Simply selecting these items will add a filter inside of the flow monitor. Now the groups inside of the flow monitor isn't different here, but now we'll be able to get reports with 16.4. Let's take a look at the new SNMP extended monitor inside of WhatsUp Gold. The standard SNMP monitor checks a single OID against a single threshold. The SNMP extended monitor checks multiple OIDs against multiple thresholds using an XML file. Let's go ahead and take a look at how this works. Here, in the monitor library, let's create a new SNMP extended monitor. First, let's go ahead and name this. And simply import an XML file. Now, WhatsUp Gold comes with many built-in XML files to use, but of course you can customize these. You can edit the existing ones inside of WhatsUp Gold or import your own XML files into the directory on the WhatsUp Gold server. Now that we choose our Cisco XML file, let's go ahead and customize our SNMP extended monitor. Here, I'll select the parameters I'd like to monitor. For a Cisco switch, let's go ahead and monitor if there are any interface giants or CRC errors occurring on any interface. On top of this, let's create a monitor for CPU usage. You can toggle the thresholds on any of these simply by selecting it. Now I'm going to create a monitor here that will be tripped on a specific device. Let's go ahead and enable this one as well. Now that we create our SNMP extended monitor, this is available inside of our monitoring library to be able to apply on our devices. Let's go ahead and navigate to our Cisco switch group and apply this to a device. Just like any other monitor, we'll be able to go ahead and apply this active monitor to my Cisco switch. You'll be able to set up action policies as well. Let's go ahead and apply the monitor and simply pull the device. Now we'll get to see that our SNMP extended monitor is down as I set a threshold very low. If I want to learn about what specific item is down, I can look at the tail of state log change. Simply hover over the message and see that the CPU usage threshold is been tripped on this monitor. With the release of 16.4, we have added multiple monitoring profiles to WhatsUp Gold Application Performance Monitor. These monitoring profiles include Linux monitoring, Apache web servers, Windows DNS, SharePoint, and Microsoft SQL servers. Let's take a closer look at an Apache web server monitor for Linux boxes. I'm going to navigate to the configuration of this application profile. You may notice here that we've added application attributes to application profiles. This is similar to the attributes in the core WhatsUp Gold. Here, you'll be able to add attributes for contact information, an escalation policy, or notes on a specific application. You'll be able to add your own attributes or use the ones that come in out of the box. Now here you can see all the items that we'll be monitoring for this specific profile. Now we'll be monitoring the Apache service. On top of that, monitoring the average number of bytes per request, even the bytes per second by monitoring the average number of bytes. Any of the thresholds here will be easily customized. You can simply toggle your own thresholds based on the needs of your environment. You can simply apply the application to this profile and test all the components to ensure that it works in your environment. If you need to edit this application profile, it's done very easily in 16.4 now. We can simply edit a copy of this application profile. For example, if I do not need to monitor the Apache service, I can simply delete it out of this application profile. Now that we're monitoring the Apache web server, we'll be able to get statistics on each monitored component. Here, let's go ahead and take a look now at the total traffic over a given time period. We have added JMX monitoring to the latest version of WhatsUp Gold. Java Management Extensions, or JMX, is a Java technology that allows you to manage and monitor Java applications. You can query manage objects called MBeans. WhatsUp Gold supports active and performance JMX monitors. Let's go ahead and take a look at one now. From this active monitor, you can see you'll be able to monitor multiple attributes in the same monitor and define the thresholds based on the attribute type. Let's create a new JMX monitor. First, we provide a monitor name. And select the port we use to connect to the JMX service. Now, let's select the IP address of the device we would like to connect to. If you use SSL with RMI registry, we can use this checkbox as well. Next, select JMX credentials from your credential library. Now we make a connection with the device. Using this JMX browser, we'll be able to build out our monitor. Most commonly used, people may want to monitor attributes from the garbage collector, or items from memory here to see how much memory an application is taking. In this example, let's go ahead and monitor the threading. Here, let's monitor the thread count. If the thread count goes above a certain threshold, we want to be alerted because that could cause performance issues on our boxes. Now that we have that specific monitor selected, let's go ahead and configure this. Now, since this is an integer attribute, I would like to be alerted if this integer is greater than or equal to a specific value. I'd be able to apply this monitor to my box and then be alerted if a threshold is breached.